With a high-class cabin, a smooth ride and space for the whole family, it's easy to see why the Palisade has been a hit for Hyundai. The brand's largest SUV runs the gamut, from its value-oriented base trim to the swanky Calligraphy model that does its best impression of a Genesis GV80. The 2024 Grand Highlander, on the other hand, gets the grand naming convention not for its style or features, but because it offers more space for people and cargo inside its elongated body, with most of the stretch going to a roomy third row. And to find out which one is better, in this video we will compare both SUVs' designs inside and out, pricing and how they drive. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. The Grand Highlander is technically the sixth three-row SUV in Toyota's lineup, and while it's not the worst looking, it certainly isn't the best looking SUV in the class. The low grille seems too big and takes up a ton of real estate on the front end, and without the limited or platinum model's 20-inch wheels, the base model's 18 inches make it look very odd. That said, the headlights and taillights are sharp, the front bumper has great angles, and there is a silver trim piece just above the upper grille that ties the whole look together. The muscular and athletic side profile is sleek and dynamic, but is surprisingly devoid of any major swoop in lines or creases. Around the back, LED taillights extend into the tailgate, which is handsomely sculpted, and dual rear exhaust outlets are integrated into the rear bumper, adding a touch of sportiness to the design. Hyundai dropped the Palisade's smaller family fascia and went big. The facelifted front end looks more squared off, with a wider, rectangular grille with lots of chrome or black trim in the XRT's case, and upright LEDs pushed further towards the car's edges. This makes it look wider than before, although it remains the same size. The side profile is muscular and athletic and features a line that runs from the front headlights all the way to the back, accentuating the vehicle's length. At the rear, not much has changed. The large Palisade lettering positioned in the center of the liftgate, just below the Hyundai logo, is still present, while the reverse and fog lights join a single lowered light bar. Overall, the Palisade is more aggressive looking than its predecessor. It's also 5.3 inches shorter, half an inch narrower, and an inch lower, making it slightly smaller than the Grand Highlander. Jumping inside, the Grand Highlander's interior is mostly great. The Platinum model uses plenty of high-quality leather, while the base XLE opts for pleather instead. With the former, the seats, door panels, center console, and dash are all covered in genuine stuff, even higher up where most people won't usually touch. And Toyota opted for rubberized buttons and controls instead of metal dials common in other SUVs. The only questionable thing is the interior trim options. Both the faux wood and geometric black plastic look and feel cheap for an otherwise premium cabin. Every Grand Highlander gets a standard 12.3-inch touchscreen with Toyota's audio multimedia system. The home screen is clean, responses are smartphone quick, and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto make connecting your own device a breeze. The Limited and Platinum models boast a bigger 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster as opposed to the base 7-inch unit. But it's way too busy. Speed, maps, road signs, and the power delivery on the hybrid model all clutter up the cluster to an annoying level. As for the Palisade, the interior design goes virtually untouched from last year, apart from a new 4-spoke steering wheel. High-quality aluminum accents surround high-end black Napa leather on the seats and black accents on the dash and door panels. On this Calligraphy model, there is some hard-touch plastics lower down, but everything within immediate reach feels properly premium. Compared to the Grand Highlander, it's fairly similar in both design and material quality. And just like the Toyota, a 12.3-inch touchscreen comes standard on all versions of the Palisade and is joined by a corresponding 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster. The new center touchscreen replaces last year's base 8-inch screen and the optional 10.3-inch display on the Calligraphy model, and yields better graphics with a more concise home screen. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard, but both require wires. As for passenger and cargo space, the Grand Highlander seats are soft with solid bolstering and plenty of space in every direction for the front 2 rows. Climb into the second row, and the captain's chairs suffer from somewhat limited support, especially for tall passengers, but this space is good for the class. Third row access is impressively easy with the sliding seats and is big enough for 2 adults to sit back there comfortably for long periods of time, thanks to above-average headroom and legroom. As for cargo space, it boasts the second best cargo space behind the third row, a healthy 20.6 cubic feet. Fold it and you get 57.9 cubes, and with all the seats down, you get a best-in-class 97.5 cubes. As for the Palisade, its wheelbase is 2 inches shorter than the Toyota. The front occupants have plenty of room length and height-wise, and the seats are very comfortable. The second row offers 3 inches extra legroom than the Toyota, making it some of the best in the segment, and the captain's chairs offer great support. Legroom in the Palisade's third row is lower by 2 inches, which is not ideal for tall adults in the back. As for cargo space, behind the third row there is 18 cubic feet. With the third row folded, space grows to 45.8 cubic feet, or 86.4 with the second row folded, making it pretty much smaller than the Toyota across the board. When it comes to pricing, to get a Grand Highlander, you will be paying a premium. The base XLE model starts at $44,400, which is over $7,000 more than the base Palisade. Next is the Limited at around $49,000 and Platinum at $54,900. All-wheel drive is an $1,100 extra. If you want the hybrid model, it starts at $46,000 with the rest of the trim levels going up from there. As for Hyundai, the 2023 Palisade SE starts at $37,200 and comes standard with LED headlights and taillights, 18-inch alloy wheels, and dual-zone climate control. The SEL is $40,200, but if you want to ball out on the luxurious Calligraphy model, this version will cost you at least $50,800. When it comes to driving and handling, the Grand Highlander offers 3 engine options, but the Hybrid Max powertrain might be the best option in the entire class. It combines the same turbocharged from the base model with a battery pack and motors on each axle, giving this version a healthy 362 horsepower and 400 pound-feet. And this combination makes it surprisingly fast, almost like a RAV4 Prime without the plug. It hustles up hilly roads that can challenge the base gas model without breaking a sweat. The base Grand Highlander uses an unobtrusive 8-speed automatic and the hybrid gets a CVT. Strangely though, the Hybrid Max uses an old-school 6-speed auto that definitely feels clunkier than the better 8-speed. Even with all that heavy battery on board, the Grand Highlander handles well for the 3-row SUV. The suspension borders on stiff compared to some of the softer SUVs in its segment, but it makes up for that slight rigidity with excellent cornering ability. The perfectly weighted steering delivers just enough road feel, while there is a shockingly minimal amount of body roll, especially for such a big SUV. As for Hyundai, the Palisade features a 3.8-liter V6 engine providing 291 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission. The engine is the least premium part of the Palisade. It gets up and goes, but it's just not as effortless as some might like. Peak power and torque arrive at 5,500 RPM, and it works hard to pull you up to speed. Once you get up to speed, however, driving the Palisade, in a word, is reassuring. A raft of active safety features, smooth driving dynamics, and a commanding view of the road inspire to say, relax, I got this. Though it's a large SUV, accurate steering, huge mirrors, and clear sightlines meant that parking garages were the only places where the Palisade felt its size. There is no problem parallel parking or navigating city streets, however. Handling is confident too, with a respectable body control and steering effort that builds up naturally. Hyundai's Highway Driving Assistant 2 adaptive cruise control is seriously impressive stuff. With the system fully activated, it controls steering, speed, and driving distance from the car in front of you using radar. It will even change lanes if you flick on the turn signal, and it's safe to do so. So, which one should you choose? Well, I think it's really simple. Considering how both SUVs offer a fairly comparable package, and if the tighter third row seat isn't a deal breaker, then you can get a similarly equipped Palisade and save thousands compared to the Grand Highlander.